Hi guys, welcome to Frank Fridays. We are super excited to be here today. Our kind of best part of our Fridays is always getting to talk to some amazing arts professionals. I'm Ellie Hayworth, as you guys know, the founder of Hayworth, and I am joined by my co-host, Karline Mo, who is the founder of Art Frankly. Hi, Karline.
Oh, hello, Ellie, and thank you, and happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you. We're excited today, guys, because we are exploring a kind of cheeky topic, what's for dinner, because we have the founder of the Dinner Gallery, Celine Mo, is here with us today. Hi, Celine.
Hi, guys. How are you?
We are well. We're excited to have you.
Yeah, likewise. What a great way to kick off Fridays.
Agree. We're excited to kind of get underway. So I think, Celine, you are probably the best to introduce yourself. So maybe just tell us quickly a little bit about yourself and about Dinner Gallery before we jump right in.
Cool. Hi, guys. I'm Celine. I'm the founder of Dinner Gallery. We are a small contemporary gallery, and we show a lot of emerging artists. We started out in Bushwick, actually. We used to be called VICTORI Mo. And then we kind of like rebranded because we were, like shifting directions. And now we're called Dinner Gallery. And now we've been in Chelsea for about 3 years now, which is wild.
Well, I think, Celine, that introduction and the gallery name kind of begs the question. Obviously, I think everybody, associates maybe the dinner table with hospitality and open arms, but I'd love to hear it from you. What was behind the change to Dinner Gallery, and what do you hope that it evokes for your audience?
Yeah, great question. So we really initiated the gallery name change during the pandemic. We were honestly like so lonely, and we were really like longing to have dinner with like all of our friends and family and our clients and our artists. And I feel like dinner is like the perfect word to kind of like summarize like community and conversation. And we've met a lot of our artists and our really good clients like through dinners, and they've become just like a huge part of like our dinner family. And I think dinner is just like, it just summarizes kind of like everything that we are about, engaging in interesting conversations and really like cultivating like certain relationships. And so, yeah, we felt like dinner sums up kind of like our ethos, and it's easier to spell than Victory and Mo.
Well, that's a good place to start. But I do agree. I feel like as someone who knows the gallery well, you guys really do embody these qualities of kind of reciprocity and sharing. And certainly there's a little kind of fun and convivial to it as well. So it's amazing. And I think I would love to just hear a little bit about kind of the evolution of the gallery program. I've followed quite a few of your artists all by way of Dinner Gallery. I just tell us a little bit more about your program.
Yeah, for sure. So when we were in Bushwick, we honestly, when we started, we didn't know what we were doing at all. And so all I knew, I was like very interested in kind of installation and how we could create a space where galleries could, or artists could really kind of like explore their practice and push their practice a little bit more than they would normally in the studio. And so we asked all the artists that we show and to show to kind of like change the space and really kind of like take it over and like in a really encompassing way. So much so that when people walked into the space, it felt like they were walking into like the artist's brain, and they literally blew out, like each artist that we worked with like blew us out of the water. It was just like incredible how creative people can get when they have kind of like free reign over a space. And so, yeah, I mean, they all did like insane installations. Like we were all painting the walls like constantly. We did murals. We hung like installations from like the ceiling. We had a few, we always like were painting constantly. And so when we moved out of that space, we like tore off like a little piece of the wall, and it was just like a rainbow.
Well, that is very cool to hear. And I think maybe one of the artists that is really emblematic of that is the artist that you have kind of on view behind you. So can you tell us a little bit about the show that you guys just opened last night?
Yeah, so this is actually from our last show. That's Anna Ortiz, and it's our first solo show with her. And she created this like a really beautiful landscape mural in the gallery that really kind of like went in and out of the paintings. And so a lot of her work is about kind of like the physical and metaphysical borders, because she's half Mexican, half American. And so kind of like negotiating between her two different cultures, and how, you know, with the rise of like Trump, that really kind of like made her think more deeply about her two different worlds that she had been growing up in, essentially. So yeah, so that's kind of like what we did for the gallery, and people really love the show because we engage the space in like a different way, or Anna engaged the space in a different way, and I think it's cool that people were like, "Oh my God, I missed it," and I was like, "That's too bad."
We're on to the next phase.
Yeah, I was like, I guess you could see it online, but yeah, it's like, I think that's the one thing I like about installations. It's like it's very ephemeral, and so if you miss it, it's really
it was a moment in time and space.
Yeah, exactly.
It's great. Well, Karlina, I'll kick it over to you.
Perfect. Thank you, Ellie. And thank you, Celine, for all these little anecdotes. I love this story about, you know, ripping off a chunk of the wall and just exposing the layers of dinner gallery and the family that you've kind of created with your program. And I guess that leads me to my question of like, how do you continue to make your program stand out within your art community?
Yeah, no, I feel like that's such a great question, because I think recently, actually the past few years, I've been thinking a lot about performative allyship and how we can kind of like overcome that with the rise of like Black Lives Matter and kind of like all these really incredible social movements. There also has been a lot of kind of like fake ones too, where people say that they are engaging or trying to change, but there is no actual meaningful change. And so I think the best way that we really think about that daily, like how we can kind of like promote our artists, how we can collaborate with other galleries, how we can really truly support our artists in like a meaningful way. So whether that's, you know, helping our artists get into other galleries if we can't deliver what we need to deliver, or even just taking our clients around to like other galleries that we love and respect, and really kind of like really building a community where we fully support each other. You know, I don't feel like we don't represent artists. We work with them in a little bit of more collaborative way. And I think that's awesome. And I feel like there's a space for us all, and we can all be successful. It doesn't have to be this crazy competitive thing. And yeah, I feel like it's just kind of like uplifting the people that in our community. So, and we have been doing more thoughtful events where we are raising money for nonprofits outside of the art world. So for example, this past December, we did a fundraiser for Heart of Dinner, which is a really great nonprofit that feeds elderly Asians in Chinatown. And so we raised a ton of money for them. We, you know, had this like really great party, and had, you know, we were able to support our artists too. And yeah, I don't know, it was just like such a fun time, and people showed up, which was like awesome. So yeah, I think it was just engaging the community in a different way, and it doesn't have to only be the arts.
And how do you find your artists? How do you grow your program?
We mostly get recommendations from our existing artists. Yeah, and our clients. I feel like the best way though is through the artists that we currently work with, or even just like friends of the gallery, like artist friends of the gallery. Just constantly asking them like who you're looking at, you know, like who are you interested in right now? We work with a few artists down in Baltimore. Right now we have a really great solo show by Sophia Belkin, who was introduced to us through a few other Baltimore artists that we work with. So it's just been kind of like really organic through like conversations.
Over dinner. I love it.
Well, yeah. I think, Celine, this has been amazing. You guys certainly embody your value proposition very well. And certainly as someone who I consider myself a friend of the gallery and of you, of course, it's really just kind of great to see the evolution continue.
Yeah, thanks, guys. That means a lot to me.
It's really fun. So thank you so much for participating today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.